Recording? Okay. So the last lesson we looked at setting up the tripod, nice and steady with the legs far apart, everything snugged up, not too tight. We looked at putting the camera on the tripod using the quick release plate. And we looked at just putting the memory card inside the camera and quickly formatting it so that we're ready to record. The button on the back of the camera records. Okay, press it again to stop recording. We've got zoom controls on the top as well. But what about shooting those first few shots for your assignment? Okay, some of the shots, any of the shots that require two images, so you're supposed to do a before and an after, leave those for now because they're more complicated. So the ones that talk about exposure or white balance, leave those for now. But the ones that talk about particularly the field of view, those are good ones to start off with. So are some of the simple camera movements too. So for the field of view shots, those are the ones where we're talking about medium shot, long shot, close-up, things like that. And we're talking there about framing. You know, what do we put inside the frame of the camera and where do we place it? Okay. So we've got Hawe here to give us a couple demonstrations. We've got a camera set up and we can see his image up on the screen. What a lot of people who shoot amateur video will do, for starters, is probably begin with a shot that looks kind of like this. Okay. They'll start off with the subject that's sitting straight in the very center of the frame. They've left all kinds of extra space at the top of the frame that's kind of empty or wasted, and same on the side. Okay. This is not an example of very good framing. Okay. Let's pretend we're doing a close-up shot here. So we're looking really sort of from the waist, or pardon me, from about the middle of the chest up for our close-up. So if we're going to do a close-up shot, let's use the zoom controls and zoom in. So T for telephoto to zoom in. And that would put us around here. Now this is better. This is an example of more of a close-up shot because we're basically just dealing sort of from the shoulders to the top of the head. You'll notice we have much less space now at the top of the head on the screen. That's headroom. We call this headroom. Okay, not inside here, but just above here. Headroom. Okay. So we don't want too much headroom. All right. For a news type situation, the framing of this shot might be okay. If he's centered in the middle of the frame, that would give space for graphics or other things on the side. But typically, from a composition point of view, we would want to place the center of the subject off center of the frame. So I would typically move him off center like that. And the reason we're doing that, or one of the sort of hard and fast rules that we can think of for this, is the rule of thirds. Has anybody heard of the rule of thirds before? Yeah. What is that?
Dividing the screen into like 3 thirds.
Yeah.
With lines, when you place like the subject on the lines.
Yes, exactly. So imagine that we had, and I wish the smartboard was working at this point, but imagine we had a line that was running horizontally here and here, okay, equal 1/3 spaces, and the same here, third and a third, okay? If we do that, anywhere those lines intersect, so here, 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 okay, those are the ideal places to put your subject. Try and get it off center, okay? Avoid the bullseye effect of having it right in the middle, but choose to go a little bit more off-center with it. Okay, so that would be a fine example of a medium shot, or pardon me, a close-up shot. An extreme close-up would be getting more of just the face and the eyes. Okay, I know, feels awkward. Okay, better make sure you brushed and flossed well today. That's an example of more of an extreme close-up shot. If we wanted to do more of a medium shot is going to be looking at more of the waist up. We could refer to that as a single shot as well. So here's an example, and if we ask for off-center, there's an example of more of a medium shot. Okay. A long shot would be the full length of the body. An extreme long shot would show the entire scene. So oftentimes in videos and movies, we'll start looking more carefully at them now as the course goes on. But you'll notice that they'll start with an extra wide or long shot, okay, to establish the setting so that we know where action is taking place. And then they'll successively move on to closer and closer shots until you probably move into more of an extreme close-up. The nice thing about an extreme close-up is it shows emotion, okay? It shows what's happening in the face. We need the long shots, though, to set up the placement. where the scene is. You can also try on your shot list, so that's 4 or 5 shots you can try. You can also try the panning shot. So panning, just loosen up the lock on the tripod here, and then we can pan the camera from left to right. So here's panning across, and then I'll stop, and then I'll pan back over. I'm not suggesting that you need to pan back and forth and back and forth. You can probably just do it once and that's fine. What you don't want to do is this. Okay? There's no point in making those kind of jerky, fast movements or stuff that looks like this. Okay? Decide the framing of the shot, so decide, okay, I'm going to move from that position to this position, just sort of try out the shot before you record it. And then once you're ready to record, press the button, slowly move the tripod, and then we'll come to a stop here. And typically what I like to do at the beginning and the end is called ease in and ease out, so that if I'm going to start, I might start a little bit slower, then I can pick up the pace slightly, but then as I get toward the end of my shot, I'll slow it down again slightly, just to ease in and ease out. And then I press stop recording, so that would be a complete shot right there. Okay. High angle and low angle shots are the other ones that you could easily do. So for a high angle shot, you may have to take the camera off the tripod because these cameras or tripods don't go super high. They're not bad. Come a little closer, Holly, because I can't really. If you need to, you may have to brace the camera. Do that, so that you can try and get a really steady shot. So you'll notice I am hand holding this, but I'm doing my best to try and get a really steady shot. That's a high angle shot. Okay, this puts us watching him. Now it feels as though we're looming over top of him. Okay, he's diminished, he's smaller. Okay, he's like a victim in a scene. Contrast that with a low angle shot. If I come down here and we look straight up, now we as the viewer are the victim. Okay, he's dominating over top of us. Okay, so that's different ways that you can evoke emotion on your subject. A normal angle shot was what we were doing earlier, where you're just shooting really straight from eye level. Okay, look like that. So that's several shots you can do. The field of view you can do, the panning shot you could do, and the normal angle, high angle and low angle are all shots you could do right now. Okay, we'll look at other ones next time.